Hello everyone, my name is Madina and today I am going to tell you about how to create your own terrain, include character, move character and fix some problems our window, hierarchy view, scene view, inspector view and project window. Don't worry about them, you will adapt very quickly to our engine environment. First of all, we need to prepare some assets, some sources which will be included in our project. Click search online. Some browser will be appeared in some site page. I already searched it recently. Click or type standard asset and click enter. And here we have our standard asset. Don't worry about it, it's free, absolutely free. We can download it easily. I already downloaded it, but you will have here download. Click on it, then open in Unity, open in Unity editor and click import. Here will be some window. Wait some time. Here is all our sources, assets, our scripts, don't worry about that. And yes, remove 2D game object because we just don't need it. And it would be more like time consuming. So yes, you can see here we have our standard assets and many folders, don't worry about that. And then we need to our SkyBox. SkyBox is like a box around your environment and it will be like more naturalistic. And yes, click free assets because we don't want to pay if we can get it freely. So I already downloaded some of SkyBox. I like this one. You can download it too, but if you don't like it, don't worry, you can download another what you want based on your preferences. So the same process, open in Unity, import and import. Don't worry about that, I will fix it. So now we have all Sky free and standard assets folder. Go to the scene and now we are going to create our own terrain. Click game object, 3D object and yes, terrain. Congratulations, that's your first terrain, but that's not our finish. We are just starting. Yes, it's like plain cube, not cube, it's like plain square. So click on terrain and here in inspector there is some details. There's our position, rotation, scale, but yes, the main tool here. Just navigate on it and hold some few seconds, and name of these tools is create neighbor terrain. Just try to click it and here is, click on the site, new terrain, site, new terrain, and yes, we can create really big terrain. And yes, there is our new terrains here too in hierarchy view, but to be honest, I don't need it. It will be like too big terrain and we are just beginners. We need maybe small but very beautiful terrain, so we can delete it. But if you want to create really big new terrain like the entire world, you can just select them and group them. It's like, it will be like parent object and this child object if you want, but I will not use it. So click again, and second tool is paint terrain, but we have drop down list. Raise a lower terrain, paint holes, paint texture, set high, smooth high, and stamp terrain. Wow, too much information for first time, but don't worry, just try. Raise or lower terrain. Excuse me. I think I have a flu. It's like in work with brushes. It's easy, you will see it. Click here and some settings like brush size and opacity. Just try. Really, practice is everything. Click and wow, it's became higher. We erase our terrain now. We can change the size and opacity, and yes, if opacity higher, like process will be more sharper, and if you decrease it, it will be like more smoother. Oh, don't worry. If you want to make it lower, here is the instruction. Hold shift and left click to lower. So left shift and click. Yeah, the same process, but it will be lower. You can increase the opacity to make our process faster. Now we know how to create hills, mountains, or everything what you want. It could be like smooth hills or sharp mountains with sharp peaks, you know. So another subtools of our main tool is paint holes. What is paint holes? Yes, we just like remove our terrain, some part of our terrain. Yeah, you know, just holes. It will be empty here, but we don't need it, so just undo. Control plus Z. So the next subtool is paint texture. Wow, that's really interesting. Here we have edit terrain layers or new brush. So what we should choose? To be honest, edit terrain layers, because if you click new brush, you will just create like these ones. We don't need it. You know, like we have brushes and we have colors. So here is brushes and they're like colors but not colors. Create layer and just type grass. Yes, here we have. For example, I want this grass front. Double click and wow, yeah, we have it. We can choose this terrain and draw it, but we can choose and create another layer. For example, another type of grass. Grass hill, for example, we can click it and yes, we can like mix different styles and make it more realistic, because you know, in our real world we never have the same things, absolutely never. We can just, I want something like that. Yeah, looks nice. The next trees, but let's just create some hills maybe, because another one you can just try by yourself because you need some practice, but I want now that you will be able to create your own terrain with your hills, your mountains, with your even lake, water, trees and whatever. Click on raise all terrain. I want to tell you about my life hack, my own personal life hack. We will raise the entire terrain. For what? I will explain you late, a little bit late. It will be like surprise. Click on it, maximum brush to cover your entire terrain, and opacity can be high, and just click on it and hide your terrain, make it higher. And then now we can create our own hills, mountains. It will be like more realistic. It's depend on your preferences, on how you see your personal world. Like I want some not so high mountains. Yeah, looks pretty good. Maybe I can choose another brush. And remember, you can click shift and left click of your mouse to make something closer, because you know different levels, different height looks more realistic. Now we can smooth high. You see it really became smoother. Something like that. And now the secret. We can increase our brush size, click shift and left click. So our here in the center we make it for what? Because there will be our own lake. Because you know the secret is that if you created your terrain later, if you click shift and try to make terrain lower, it will not be lower than that it's standard how it already was created. So to make your process easier and more faster, we just prepared our terrain for our lake. But if you don't want lake, you can just ignore the step and work in our standard level of the ground. But I want it, so we will create lake later on. So now we can create some trees. Click here and edit trees, add new tree, and click on this little circle. And we have some prefabs, some models. Just find and click your tree, for example here, and click add button. Now we can choose our brush size. Brush size and tree density. What does it mean? Tree density is like here. Many different randomized trees. But if we lower, yeah, the number of trees per one click of our brush decreased. So that means that number of trees per one click. Something like that. You can make it really fast and also combine different styles, different types of trees. Just add new or another type of tree. For example, this one and this one and another one, another one. So yes, it's pretty simple. We can also it's not so beautiful because I wanted to explain you briefly and show you our result, but it depends on you. The result is really depends on you. You can just spend a lot of hours think about all details and etc, but you can create everything. That's the main advantages of Unity Engine. So maybe I want to create some more plain ground. It's oh my god, not so much, but yeah, something like that. Yeah, it looks nice. We have trees, we have hills. Later on we will have lake, but what about bushes? Sorry, I'm not native English speaker, but I think you get the point. Now we are going to paint details. Yes, we can add some flowers. It's like details, don't worry about that. Again, like in tree, you see? Edit tree, and now we edit details. Add grass texture. Click on that little circle in detail texture, and we can find some grasses and add. It's too little. And oh, but yes, here we go. We can have now And again, you can change your settings, brush size, it can be smaller, opacity, and darker strengths. Wow, too much. Oh, now that's pretty nice. Add new grasses, yes. Always try to mix different assets because it will be look more naturalistic and more beautiful. Another type of grass, for example, this one. Add it in. Yes, they're different, you see? You can just create many grasses. Depends on you and your choice. But you know, we can... I want to create like a little bit, just show you. Now we have some kind of hills with grasses, with trees, and yes, it's pretty nice. Now we want, for example, some water. Yes, I already mentioned that we will create lake. Just click water in our search bar, find our place to the lake. Wow. And by the way, if you want to delete some trees, some grasses, just the same method. Click shift button and left button of the mouse, and it will be deleted, the same method as we draw our hills. So now we have water. For example, I want this one. You can drag and drop, or you can just insert it to our hierarchy view, but I prefer to drag and drop because you can fix your position of this asset. You can use to rotate, scale, position from this our tool bar, but you know, you can just click on W on your keyboard, E and R for your scale, E for your rotation, and W for your position. And we have this arrow for X, Y, Z axis. And now you can manipulate with it. It's pretty nice and easy. So I clicked R for scale tool because I want to increase our asset, and position. It should be fixed in scale. Oh yes, now it's pretty nice, but too big. You can always fix what you want, how you want it to be look. It's okay. We can draw some extra hills, for example. Yes, like that. More naturalistically. Yes. And again manipulate with our water. And yes, now it looks pretty good. Oh, we have gap here. Don't worry. In your own world, you can fix everything. Now we have lake, trees, grasses, and etc. etc. You can also download different assets and mix them, combine them. You also can buy some really beautiful assets, but also find for free. Here is no problem. For example, here we have character, entire fantastic city generator, future slums, and etc. etc. But for beginner, you can just use free assets. And now we can add some sky. For example, click on all sky free and just choose whatever you want. For example, cold sunset. Drag and drop. Yes, and our entire environment covered. Now it looks pretty nice. We also can manipulate with our directional light, because you know that our directional light works like sun in our environment. You can choose the position of your sun, excuse me, etc. etc. Yes, now sun is lighting and here some shadows. Everything looks more naturalistic. Here I want to add some grasses. Go to the terrain, inspector view detailed, paint details, choose brush and click, click, click. Yeah, that's nice. So our final step is create our character and move. It's like manipulate with our character. Go to the standard asset, to the character, third person, prefabs and third person controller. Drag and drop. Wow, so small. Just click on R button on the keyboard and increase the size of our character, W to change position and E button to rotate him. Now we have our character. Yes, our first character. But in our game object we don't know what is it, where is our environment, where is our character. Just click on main camera and yes, the position is here in our little like window. You can adapt what in our game will be shown and just manipulate with it. Where is our character? We need to find him. And our main camera. Oh. but you can just go to the game object and create new camera. Now here is it. Oh yes, our character. Just fix the position. It could be based on your preferences. Use scale, position, rotate, and etc. And you can just drag and drop your camera on your third-person controller, and it will be like child object of this parent object. It will be depend on it. So let's just try. Why not? Oh, okay. We have our problem. Just let's fix it. If you have GUI text has been removed, use UI text instead. I already had this kind of problem. Just double click on it, and you need some Visual Studio on any other external application to fix our script. So here we have like GUI text. Put here only text, and he is using Unity engine.ui and save it. Now it's adapting, compiling, and understanding what is going on. Because external editors for our script with Unity engine working automatically, and it like synchronize automatically. You don't worry. You shouldn't don't worry about that. Just wait. Yes, and is no red errors. That's nice. Just try to click play mode again, and oh my god, yes, now we have our character, and goes of here, everything else. It looks a little bit strange, but still okay, because we gained our goal. We wanted to have our own character, make it move, and create our own terrain. I just wanted to show you so briefly that I didn't think about my role, but yes, it's working. I hope it's working in your Unity too. So the process is also depend on the power of your computer, because our program tried to compile every asset, every object together in real time, so it's a little bit complicated to my laptop, and it's like freezing. But if you created your own terrain, if you put some details, some trees, you paint your texture, you added your character, and yes, it's moving like my character. And you also have some lake, water source, you have your skybox, you have shadows, and etc, etc. So I think that this video wasn't so unuseful. From my point of view, it was useful for you, and I hope so, because for beginners, that like basic things, you should know about them. You should have the idea of how terrain is created. Let me leave this play mode. How terrain is created, what steps you should follow, and like, yes, the basic thing. So thank you for your attention. If you have any problems, if you have any questions, you can just leave some comments, and I will try to answer all of them. Thank you, goodbye.